Marvel Studio announcements from San Diego Comic-Con at Hall H.
After a 2-year absence, they're finally back where they belong, center stage at San Diego Comic-Con.
Was it 2 years? I thought they just skipped last year.
Yeah, last time was 2022.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
all right,
well,
okay.
they absolutely came back with a bang, that's for sure.
Yeah, so first thing we're going to be talking about is none other than Thunderbolts. And
Thunderbolts.
there's not much to really talk about this movie, except I'm kind of hyped about it. All, villain type cast, if you will.
Yeah, I think we learned like minimal details. I think we learned that the asterisk is actually 6 bullets pointing at each other. So I guess each bullet, there's 6 of them, right? Or there's 7 of them, maybe 6 or 7 bullets. But
Somebody's got to be holding the gun.
Well, yeah, Kevin Feige was spotted with a hat with like bullets in the shape of an asterisk. So that
makes total sense now.
Yeah. I mean, obviously there's still more context that's needed there, but we're getting closer to the clues. But yeah, and I think we have a general premise as to what they're going to be doing. Like it's almost like Suicide Squad.
I was literally just going to say that. So it's Marvel's Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Or Marvel Legion of Doom, kind of in a way.
Okay.
Yeah, like they're getting sent to a job just to die, basically.
I wonder if they're going to have devices implanted into their necks if that could be activated if they don't listen to directions.
Well, then they'd really be
I know
taken from Suicide Squad. But I will correct myself just now because I'm looking at the poster again. There are 6 of them plus Elaine from Seinfeld. Val or whatever her name was in the MCU.
Her name is Val, but we'll just call her Elaine because
she's Elaine.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
sorry.
Elaine. Yeah.
Evil Elaine.
So we got that. The only cool thing that was kind of fun that happened that
David Harbour.
Yeah, David Harbour showed up in costume.
Yes.
And was kind of making fun of everybody and was upset that nobody else was in suit. So
it's kind of like when Jack Black showed up in a Bowser costume for to promote Mario.
Or John Cena kept showing up in his Peacemaker costume.
Yeah.
When he was promoting that Suicide Squad or Peacemaker. It was one of those in that time period.
Yeah. So
right. So
nice joke.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty funny. That was it broke the ice, if you will.
Yeah. One thing actually I did read this piece of speculation from Reddit saying that Thunderbolts with the asterisk means that this actually won't be the real name of the movie. It's going to end up being Dark Avengers.
You see, I thought that too. I want to say
just leave it at Thunderbolts.
Why not just call it Thunderbolts? Why?
I agree.
I understand they just want
they want the name Avengers to sound Avengers, more marketable. Yeah.
Dark Avengers is a whole separate storyline and other villains. That's just gonna get confusing, and we're gonna get shortly to 2 Avenger big topics anyway.
Right, exactly. So with that said, we're going to move on to the next thing that was brought up by Hall H, which is none other than the Fantastic Four movie, which has a revised title to The Fantastic Four First Steps. So, guys,
their first steps into the MCU.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is this the first steps going into the MCU? What's the whole first steps idea? What do we think it is?
Well, it's going to be them, it's going to be an origin story,
obviously,
right?
Yeah.
The thing with this part of the show is that they actually did show off footage from the movie, which I am shocked that they were able to put together something so fast because it's like, didn't they just get started with filming recently?
No. Filming is as of July 28th or 29th. I think today.
Monday. They must have put together like test footage or something just to make it look like they had something. But I mean, I like the aesthetic from what they did show and like the leaks that we did see. Like I'm definitely getting like a 60s Jetsons vibe over like this alternate universe New York or whatever city that they're in. It looks like New York with like some extra futuristic, retro futuristic stuff thrown in the city. So, and we got a glimpse at what's his name, Galactus.
Yep.
He looks like an actual Galactus and not like a menacing cloud,
What is that?
which is
Purple
great.
Mist? Oh
Yeah.
man. Okay.
So, and like, you know, they all look good together. I feel like there's definitely, I can just tell just from like that candid group shot that they took earlier last week that they're happy to be together. They look like they're having fun
Right.
being, you know, like the first family of Marvel. So I'm excited. And I think we got a couple of like fun scenes too, like randomly, like there's a scene of like a 60s dating show game show
With the thing.
as a contestant, and like, so there might be some, you know, a little bit of silliness, like goofiness here, but I'm with it so far.
My thing is, you know, Fantastic Four is such a well-known Marvel brand that coming into the MCU that it didn't need a subtitle, but I do know. Keep in mind, we had the two previous incarnation under the Fox banner. They were called Fantastic Four.
They had to,
they
had to
had
break
to.
away somehow.
And then part 2 was Rise of
But,
the Silver Surfer.
But I do like the retro logo look that we see here for the title. That's pretty cool.
I'm loving it. Yeah, I mean, they're doing a great job making sure this stands out from what came in the past.
I agree.
Maybe over time the retro I'll grow onto the 60 retro time place, since you know we had our argument over that, Johnny. So
yeah, look, listen, I think this is all they can do to like make it, you know, set it apart from what came before. I mean, you know, the first iteration wasn't that great. The second iteration in 2016 was a complete flop. So like, business-wise, Fantastic Four as like a property has not done well in the movie theater, and they want to make sure that people who are seeing another Fantastic Four movie coming out, that they know that this is something different and it's worth giving it another shot.
that's why they probably took their time and they did want to get this right. Like probably
Exactly.
how you feel, like, you know, hoping Nintendo gets it right with the Legend of Zelda movie.
Yeah,
And Nintendo and Sony, whoever the studio is,
well, I think Marvel has more to prove right now. So
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And the last thing that they brought up was none other than Captain America 4, A Brave New World, which they actually brought Harrison Ford onto the stage, and he kind of, what's the word? He hulked out.
He hulked
Yes.
out,
So that was pretty.
showing us the most amount of energy that he's probably exerted in like 30 years.
He must have been on the set of Deadpool and had some of that booger sugar that Blind Al and Deadpool are using.
Assuming he would even do that.
Now, years ago, when Harrison Ford was at Comic-Con promoting the new Star Wars movie at the time, he was on Jimmy Kimmel's show, and Jimmy Kimmel called it that Harrison Ford coming out at Comic-Con is like wheeling out baby Jesus, because it's Indiana Jones and Han Solo.
Right.
But what we're going to talk about momentarily will be like Jesus coming back to life in a way, with the big announcement we're going to get to.
Oh, with RDJ? That's for another video. We'll talk about that for another day.
No. We're talking about that today, folks. Don't worry.
We are. But that's all for Studio H in San Diego Comic-Con. And let us know what you guys think. Do you guys think what's going to happen with all these movies that are come out? Do you think that it's going to be great? Or is it going to flop like the rest of phase, what are we on? 5?
5.
Yeah. Let us know in the comment section down below.